Have you heard? They said the prince has chosen. Tonight, he is coming tonight. The future queen will leave this village before sunrise.
Queen for sunrise.
Are you really sure about what you're saying?
Yes, I heard it myself.
The prince is on his way.
He danced with her twice. Yes. Twice, not once like the others.
Mama Adara's daughter will wear the crown.
We must go congratulate them before it is too late.
Yes, Mama, I'm getting the basket.
Hurry now, let's go. Prepare the best dress. Stand straight and smile like royalty.
A masked girl washes her hands slowly. Her heart beats louder than the drums. Because somewhere in the shadows of last night, a secret was kept. A life was saved. And a promise was whispered. Dust rises on the road. Villagers gather, breath held, eyes wide. And then, a voice echoes like thunder across the land.
The crown prince has chosen his bride.
But here is the question that shakes the village. Is it the girl he danced with twice? Or the girl who saved his life? Tonight, kindness will be crowned, pride will fall, and the one who called herself nobody will become unforgettable. The news shook the village like thunder. The town crier had shouted it in every corner of the land. The crown prince had found the maiden who would be his bride. The future queen would be taken to the palace that very night. People stopped working. Farmers left their tools on the ground. Women left their cooking fires burning. Children ran from house to house, shouting the news. If you believe kindness always wins, subscribe and stay with us. This story is only getting deeper. Who could it be? Everyone asked. Many believed they already knew. It must be Rita, they whispered. The prince danced with everyone only once, but he danced with Rita twice. In Douglas's compound, excitement was already growing. Rita sat proudly on a wooden stool. She folded her arms and lifted her chin. She could not hide her smile. "Mama," she said happily, "last night was magical. The prince danced with me twice. Twice!" I laughed. I showed him my beauty. But he did not announce me in front of everyone. Why? Douglas pulled her closer. "Do not worry," she said confidently. "He spent more time with you than any other maiden. Everyone saw it. Even the king was watching you." Rita smiled proudly. "My friends were already begging me to remember them when I become queen." Douglas laughed. "Speak only positive words. What if he comes today to ask for your hand in marriage?" Rita pressed her hands to her chest. "Imagine the crown on my head, Mama. Imagine people bowing before me." Douglas's eyes shone with ambition. "You are the chosen one. Your beauty is strong. Your skin glowed like polished ebony at the banquet." They both laughed loudly. Behind them, Grace walked quietly from the kitchen. She had heard everything. Grace did not speak much in the house. She worked hard and kept her head low. Her face was always covered with a simple mask. Many people ignored her. But Grace carried a secret in her heart. The night of the banquet, after everyone had returned home, she had walked through the forest path. There, she found a young man lying on the ground, injured and weak. He had been attacked. She did not know he was the prince. She only saw a human being who needed help. She brought him home secretly. She cleaned his wounds. She gave him water. She told him not to tell anyone. "You did not see me," she had said firmly, "and you did not come here." The young man had looked at her gently. "May I know your name?" he asked. "I am nobody," she replied. When he was strong enough to leave, he stood taller than before. "I must return home before my family worries," he said softly. "But I will never forget your compassion." Grace had watched him disappear into the darkness. Now the whole village was waiting to see who the prince had chosen. As evening came, women began bringing gifts to Douglas's compound. Baskets of fruit, colourful cloth, jars of palm oil, even a live chicken. "Mama Douglas," one woman said sweetly, "we brought these small gifts to celebrate when Rita becomes queen." Douglas's face changed. "Take your cheap gifts and leave," she shouted. "Do you think we need you now?" Rita stood behind her mother proudly. "You heard her," she said coldly. The women hurried away in embarrassment. But Douglas and Rita did not care. In their hearts, they were already living in the palace. Meanwhile, other mothers in the village were still grooming their daughters. "Stand straight," they said. "Fix your dress." What if the prince surprises us? Hope and fear mixed together in every home. The sun began to set. The air grew quiet. People lined the main road. Then they heard it. Drums, hoofbeats. The royal carriage was coming. Dust rose into the air as the horses approached Douglas's compound. The carriage stopped. The royal guards stepped down first. They stood tall and serious. Rita adjusted her dress. Douglas lifted her head higher. Grace stood behind them, her heart beating fast. One guard stepped forward with a scroll. "We are here," he announced, "to take the chosen maiden to the palace." The crowd leaned forward. The guard opened the scroll. "The maiden chosen by the crown prince is the one whose kindness saved his life." Whispers spread quickly. "Saved his life," the guard continued. On the night after the royal banquet, the prince was attacked. Many passed him, but one maiden stopped. She helped him. She hid him. She asked for no reward. Grace felt her body grow weak. The guard looked around. She wore a mask. She called herself nobody. Silence fell. Slowly, every eye turned toward Grace. Douglas gasped. Rita stepped back. At that moment, the carriage door opened. The crown prince stepped out. He looked strong and royal now, dressed in fine clothes. But his eyes were the same gentle eyes Grace remembered. He walked straight toward her. "You saved my life," he said clearly. Grace kept her eyes low. "I only helped someone who was hurt," she said quietly. "You did more than that," the prince replied. "You protected me when you were afraid. You asked for nothing. You did not even know who I was." He gently lifted her mask. The crowd gasped again. Grace's face was beautiful in a calm and simple way. Not proud, not decorated, just natural and kind. The prince turned to the villagers. "I danced with many maidens," he said, "but I chose the one whose heart is pure. True beauty is not loud, it is quiet. It acts with kindness when no one is watching." Douglas felt shame fill her heart. Rita felt tears roll down her cheeks. The prince looked at Grace. "Will you come with me and become my bride?" Grace's heart trembled. She had never dreamed of this. She thought about her hard life. She thought about the insults she had endured. Then she looked at the prince. "If it is truly your wish," she said softly, "I will come." "It is my wish," he answered. Douglas suddenly fell to her knees. "Grace, forgive me," she cried. "I did not treat you well." Rita stepped forward, crying. "I was proud. I thought beauty was everything." Grace looked at them calmly. "I forgive you," she said. The prince smiled warmly. Kindness and forgiveness. That is the heart of a queen. The drums began to beat again. The prince held Grace's hand and helped her into the carriage. The villagers bowed deeply. The girl who called herself nobody was now the future queen. As the carriage moved away, Rita stood quietly, thinking deeply. Douglas wiped her tears. The village slowly returned to their homes. But they were different now. They had learned something powerful. In the palace that night, Grace stood beside the prince. "You said you were nobody," he said gently. Grace smiled. "Sometimes the world does not see you, but that does not mean you are nobody." The prince nodded. "Our kingdom will be blessed because of your heart." And so, the quiet girl with the hidden face became queen, not because she danced twice, not because she dreamed of power, but because she chose kindness when no one was watching. Moral lessons. True beauty comes from the heart. Outer beauty may shine for a moment, but inner beauty lasts forever. Kindness always returns. When you help others without expecting reward, good things will find you. Pride can blind you. Rita and Douglas were too proud to see the truth. Do good even when no one sees you. The prince chose Grace because of what she did in secret. Forgiveness brings peace. Grace forgave those who hurt her. And that showed her true strength. Never look down on anyone. The person you ignore today may rise tomorrow. And that night, the village understood something important. The greatest crown anyone can wear is a kind and humble heart.